Good day, friends. Welcome back. It has been far too long. Far too long. Cheers. Maxwell House. Good to the last drop. Although it's not actually Maxwell House. I'm not a degenerate. You know what I've been drinking lately? Um, it's called Death Wish Coffee. Have you heard of this? It's like a microbrew coffee house. I don't know where they're out of. Maybe the Northwest or something. But and it's the medium blend. I'm not a lunatic. The bold looks outrageous. You know what it made me think of when I first saw it? I was like, Death Wish coffee. What the? It reminded me of that. Remember that soda that came out in the '90s? What's it called? Jolt. And it was just all sugar and caffeine. That's what I thought this was going to be. But and I'm sure it's stronger. I'm sure it's got a little more caffeine, but it's not crazy. It's actually very good. So I'll go to the supermarket and I'll get Dunkin' as my go-to, and then I'll try a different, smaller house kind of coffee like this. And this one's been my favorite recently. Yeah, so it has been a while. I had my birthday last month, so I did some traveling, and as you'll notice with the title, um, this is some more hauls. I said that in the last video that was my last haul, but it was technically my last haul at that time. But yeah, we've accumulated some more hauls, and then for my birthday, I got a few really nice things. I'm probably not gonna jam this all into one video. I'm probably gonna maybe spread it over the next two videos, possibly. We'll try to get through what's on my desk and then move over to the side table there. Um, and yeah, so let's just jump right in. Don't need too much blabbering. What am I sampling? Friend of mine was kind enough, in one of the hauls I've gotten recently, was kind enough to send me the entire Etat Libre d'Orange sample set. And let me tell you, there've been a couple of misses, but there've been a couple of hits so far. Today I'm sampling She's an Anomaly, which is nice. It's really very nice. It's a sandalwood musk and iris, I think. It's really nice, but it's not something I haven't smelled before. But this is Spice Must Flow, and let me tell you, this stuff is good. This stuff is very good. I've heard it compared to, what's that designer brand that put out the all those Spice Bomb. I've heard it's compared to that, but I've never smelled that. But this house, I like this house. I have actually one of the hauls that I think maybe my birthday haul. I got one coming up from this house. Yesterday I sampled what is it called? Eau de Protection, and boy, was I knocked out by that one. It's a really nice spicy red rose. Supposed to have metallic nuances to it. I'm not sure that I got metallic from it, but a really nice long patchouli dry down. That one I really enjoyed. Okay, so we're just gonna jump right in and get cracking. Okay, scent of the day. I guess we have to do this first, and then we can get cracking. Scent of the day is something I got in a while back, and I kind of tried it, was like, yes, I love it, and I just set it aside and just got into other stuff. This is Bogner Man. This is the predecessor to Deep Forest, which I got a while back and fell in love with. This is an interesting little house. They started in the 30s or 40s, and they made not ski equipment, but like sportswear for skiing, and then I guess in the I guess in '85 when this came out, they started up fragrances, and just the second one I've got from this house, and I'll tell you, it might not be the last because both Deep Forest and Bogner Man are really nice. It's like a spicy, foresty green fragrance. Um, not super far away from Deep Forest, but Deep Forest. This was in '85, so this has more of a an '80s piney kind of a vibe to it, and then Deep Forest takes a step into the '90s. Deep Forest was released in '95, I think, and it has a little bit more of that freshness from the '90s that you would expect. But both very good if you ever get a chance. Okay, so we're just gonna get cracking right in and see how far we get, and kind of try to keep this video to something sane and reasonable. Okay, this is one I've had on my list forever, and actually, this house is something that I've been wanting to dive into for some time now, because I've heard there are a number of hidden gems in there, and at the prices that you can get these for, it's definitely something I'm gonna scoop up more than a few. This is the first one I wanted though, and this is called Black Suede by Avon, and this was released in 1980, and if you can see on the back there, this is I guess the run after '89. So early in the life of this fragrance. So I would imagine not too much in the way of reforming from the original. I never smelled the original. Although my mom um, did have Avon fragrances. Don't, I don't recall any of the, I don't recall any of the masculines. And I'll show the front of the bottle probably better than showing the back, right? Yeah, it's really nice. This is a splash, which I don't mind. This is a really nice fragrance. It's more leathery than suede, and it's kind of got a spicy, boozy vibe to it. This is really nice. There's another one called Black Leather Suede that I want to look at. It's a flanker, of course, flankers. But there are a number of other Avon fragrances that look really good, and so I'll report back on my progress with that house. So all right, so that's that. Um, this was a part of a haul that I got from Anuj, and he knew how much I liked the Adidas fragrance. I have like a little half of a partial that he sent. He was kind enough to send me another little bottle of Adidas from '85, I want to say. This is the first release from the house, and man, don't sleep on Adidas's first couple of releases. This is, I've been so knocked out by this. I've worn this at least once a week for the last couple of months. It's so good. Like who knew, Okay. Now, this is one I've talked about for some time, and this is what I've had in my collection, and this is Richard James Savile Row, okay? And this is the first run of this fragrance, and I've been totally knocked out by this. Just suedey, floral. There's tuberose in it, just like some offbeat notes for a men's fragrance. But I've been in love with it, and what I wanted to do was back it up. Now, finding the first run, they're not easy to find, number one. And number two, if you do find them, they're really expensive. So I took a flyer on the second run of this fragrance. And the way you can tell the first and second run is that the first run has a gray box. And this one is more of a colorful box. And I think this was part of the haul I got from Galen. And I got the 100 mil, so I was like, I'm stoked, and now I'm stocked up on this fragrance. And however, this is very good, and I don't want to get too far into the conspiracy theories of reformulation, but there is a noticeable difference between this one and that one. That one has a well-balanced floral suede combination, and this one they seem to have dialed up the florals and dialed down the suede. While this is still very good, it just doesn't have that. Just doesn't have that suede that you're looking for to kind of balance it out. So I'm not upset having it, but I really wanted to have more of that suediness, and I didn't find it in that. That's just a little FYI. If you're going to go after Richard James, try to go after the one with the gray box. There is a difference, and it's not always the case in with all fragrances, but through my experience, that one is better in the earlier formulation. Okay, another one that I've had on my list forever and a day, and I finally picked this up. This is a Pierre Bourdon fragrance, and this is Cabaret by the House of Grey. This is Pierre Bourdon playing around with that pineapple note. It's fruity, barbershoppy. It's really good. This is a really good fragrance. I've been smitten with that one for a while now. Okay, a couple of backups. I'm not going to waste too much time on these, but I got Opium Pour Homme a couple months back and was just knocked out. It's just my kind of fragrance with the blackcurrant and the spices, and so I picked up another bottle of it, 100 ml. And I really don't know the story between the different distributors of Opium Pour Homme, but the first one I liked, and I know it wasn't the super newest one. This one I think is even newer, but this one's even better. There's a bit of a skankiness to this one, a bit of a growl in the base of this one, so that is a win. Another backup that I got, and I've really been in love since I got it a couple of years ago. I got Joop Oom, not Joop Oom, excuse me. What About Adam? And I got a little 50 or 75 mil, and I've kind of burned through. I don't want to search for it right now, but I've kind of burned through a good bit of that fragrance, so I got a backup, and this is the 100 mil, and let me make sure I'm showing the front of the bottle. And this is a great fragrance, man. This is, if you don't know about What About Adam, I think it's one of the best from the house. Others might disagree, but it's a great bottle, and it's one of the best tomato leaf fragrances I think out there. Yeah, I would have to say. I mean, I love the note of tomato leaf, and I think this is one of the better ones out there. So that's a win too, as far as being able to spray the things I love with a little bit of, a reckless abandon. Okay, this one is. I'm a fan of this house. This house is the price point's really low, and they put out decent fragrances. And this is Jacques Bogart's Witness. I don't have to tell you too much about this one. It's a great cinnamon fragrance. I'm not even going to take it out. You guys know what Witness is all about. It's a really good fragrance. I'm happy to add it to my growing Jacques Bogart collection. And I think I'm up to like 10 or 11. Okay, this was a partial that I got from a friend of mine. I want to say Galen, but yes, Galen. And this has made me want a full bottle. This is one of the best leathers that I've smelled, full stop. And this is Peau d'Espagne by Santa Maria Novella. And, man, it's so freaking good. I don't know how to explain it. It's a combination of a lot of different leathers that I have in my collection, but yet totally different. This is, I don't know what formulation this is. I don't know if this is brand new or if this is a little bit older. I know it's not a gold label, so it's not the most vintage, but if I can find another one of these, I don't care, gold label or not. This is a good leather fragrance. Peau d'Espagne. There's been a lot of talk about it recently, and now I see what the hype's about. It's outrageous. Just outrageous. I can't say enough good about that. Okay, a couple from my friend Anuj, and one of them was a recommendation from our friend Ramsey. And this is from the house of Jessica McClintock, and this is Scott McClintock. And yeah, I don't know if you want to take a look. If there's anything on the back. This was a really pleasant surprise. This, I mean, I trust Ramsey's nose, but it exceeded my expectations. I didn't know what to expect, but I was like, you know, got to see what's what. This is really, really nice. I'm gonna have to do a little review on this. This is, man, there's so many unknown fragrances out there that just hit the spot where you're just like, wow, it's quality, it's creative, it's, you know, and it's just like these houses that nobody's ever heard of, and they put out solid fragrances. That's why I love going after obscure vintages that, you know, go down a rabbit hole, and maybe it's the one hit from that house that's good, but they're out there where you know, do a little research. They're out there, and this is one of them. This has long been on my list. I've got several several little minis of it, and I love it. It's one of my favorite vintages of all time, and this is Jill Sander Feeling Man. Now, it's kind of odd that this packaging has just man on it, and I don't even think the bottle has feeling on it, but it's called Feeling Man. Yeah, I don't think I think it's just man on the bottle. And this is a freaking good fragrance. I'm starting to think this is at the top, like in my top 20 or so. And I got one of these things here. I love this. I haven't even gone through this yet. I don't even know what this is, but I'm sure it's all about their, you know, their product lines and some of their. Oh, maybe it's a no. It's a. I don't know what this is. I'll look this. I think this is all the product line and everything. I'll look this over, and maybe if I do a review of this, I'll kind of unwind that whole thing. But yeah, Feeling Man is ridiculously hard to find and very expensive. But if you run across it, or even a mini, don't pass it up. It is so very worth it. Like I said, one of my favorite vintages, and it's slowly creeping up the charts. One of these days, I'm gonna have to do like favorite fragrances in my collection, which is gonna be a tall task. You know, every time I think I know what my top 20 are, top 40 or top whatever, they change like every day. So we'll see one of these days, but that will be somewhere in the upper echelon of my fragrance collection. Feeling Man's fantastic. Okay, so a couple more. I don't know how we're doing on time, but I'm gonna do a couple of more, and then we'll go ahead and start another video on the latter half of these hauls, and then we'll get into my birthday stuff. And here's another Bogart that I never really had. I'd never tried it. You know, I always thought it was maybe kind of redundant or whatever, and to a degree, it is kind of redundant to some other things I have, but it's, you know, it falls in line with the rest of the fragrances. Quality for price. It's really a good fragrance. It's not my favorite Bogart, but it's pretty good. I really like their packaging. They're for $20 or whatever this was. I don't think you can beat it. Okay, we'll do two more, and then we'll leave the rest for another video. This is something that I had tried quite a while back and been in love with it ever since. And I was lucky enough to stumble onto, I think this is from Galen as well. And this is Cologne du 68 by Guerlain. Not a lot of people talk about it. Like, nobody ever talks about it. I don't see anybody you know, but this thing is, it's brilliant. I gotta wear this. I gotta wear this soon. Maybe tomorrow. I've seen, I've seen a 200 mil of this, or maybe a 150 of this. I wouldn't mind having that because this is the kind of stuff that it's not so light and fleeting that you know it doesn't last an hour, but it doesn't last all day long. You get like a right somewhere in the middle, like 3 4 hours, maybe 5 if you're lucky, if you overspray. But and I think there might even be an eau de parfum of this. I have to look into it, but if you're not familiar with Cologne du 68, check it out. This is really a good fragrance by Guerlain. Shouldn't come as any surprise. Okay, and then from my partner in crime, Duncan, famous YouTuber, he was kind enough to send this my way as on a recommendation from Keith Manly Sense. I've been wanting to try this. Speaking of leathers, I've been wanting to try this because I've heard good things about it. And this is, I don't know how well you can see that. This is Moschino Pour Homme. And this is a very cool piece for the collection. This is a vice versa bottle. And what that means is that, check this out. Moschino Pour Homme. And it's a vice versa bottle, which means that one side of it is an atomizer and the other side of it is a splash, which I don't think I've ever even taken it off yet, but it's a splash. How freaking cool is that? This is one of the cooler pieces I've come across in a while, and it's got these cool little yin yang things on the back of it. But as far as leathers go, this, man, the Italians do leather right, in my opinion. This, for me, I posted this on Instagram the other day, and for me, this falls somewhere in the range of Fendi, Uomo, and like Valentino Vendetta, and maybe even somewhere in between Trussardi, somewhere like that. It's you know, it's just that great citruses at the top. It's got a great leather dry down. Moschino Pour Homme. There is a Moschino Uomo, if I'm not mistaken. Now, I haven't tried that, so I can't vouch for that. But this Moschino Pour Homme, pretty good. I don't know if it achieves what Fendi Uomo does, but I think it may be a tick better than Vendetta Pour Homme, or Uomo. I think it's Vendetta Pour Homme, but it's somewhere in there. Maybe not as good as Trussardi, but it's in that range. Okay, so we'll leave it there for now, and I will get cracking on the next video. I appreciate y'all watching. As usual, if there's anything you can teach me about any of these fragrances, or anything you can suggest off of what I've shown you here, drop it in the comments. I always look forward to the interaction in the comments. It's really a big part of why I do these videos. Yeah, so y'all have a great day. Stay grateful. Peace.